Hello and welcome to a short introduction to Virtix. Virtix is an application interface for virtual private data centers management. It allows the user to monitor the virtual infrastructure, manage and configure its components, as well as add or remove products. Let's start the demo by logging into the application. This is the default view of the front end. The whole application is logically divided into separate tabs, as you can see in the top ribbon. Let's start the demonstration with the Data Centers tab. Virtix application allows for logical division of all virtual private data centers, similar to the physical DCs. It can be separated into logical DCs, which are then broken down into rows and racks. All virtual infrastructure components are placed into the racks. This allows the users to logically separate and organize the infrastructure between different projects or departments in their respective organizations. Now let's move on to the Networking tab. This panel shows us an overview of all provisioned networks in our virtual private data center. Double-clicking a network brings up the configuration window where users define network name, description, addressing, and mask. Right panel gives us the details of currently connected network devices to these networks. If we want to configure them, we have to switch the view to Network Devices Management view. Right panel is the rack view, which shows us the network devices placed into this rack. Middle portion shows the currently provisioned and available network devices. And the right panel gives us the details on the highlighted products. If we want to configure the device, we simply click Modify and bring up the Network Device Configuration window. Here we can define the name and description. We can choose the network bandwidth speed. We can define, add or detach interfaces and define their IP addressing, as well as definition of NAT and firewall rules is available here. We can also define user accounts for VPN. Next up is the Servers tab. Again, on the left we can see the rack view, which shows us all the servers available and provisioned in the rack. Middle portion gives us the servers list along with their status and the details on the highlighted servers. Right-hand side of the application is a product list. This allows us to choose a product of desired parameters when we want to purchase it. For the sake of this demo, let's now create a Windows server with 1 CPU and 4 GB of RAM. To do that, we simply highlight the desired product, click on the Add New Server button, and bring up the server configuration window. Here, first of all, we have to name the server. Let's give it a name Test. The next step is to choose the operating system and software licenses. As we've said, we will choose the Windows 2008 server for this demo. Add it to the purchased software, click Setup, Done. Since we have a template available for the Windows 2008 Data Centers product, we can choose to deploy the operating system from this template, which makes things a little bit more easier for us. Should we choose to install and make a custom installation, we simply untick this option. For the sake of this demo, we will have the server deployed from a template. Next step is to add a network interface card. Let's give it a name again and choose the network segment to connect it to. Now the configuration as we want it is complete and we can click the Save button. This tells the application to send a provisioning request for a new server. The status of the server is indicated by the circle next to its name. Green circle indicates a running and working server. Red circle indicates a server that is powered off. And the orange button or the orange icon indicates a server under provisioning. The configuration window of provisioned servers has some further functionalities. Let's have a look at those. Let's select one of the servers, click Modify and bring up the configuration window. On the top, we can see a few icons that give us the further functionalities. First button is to switch off or on the server. Next one, the terminal button, brings up a KVM console window which allows us to access the server and carry out configurations. Next one is the media button. This allows the user to choose an ISO image to mount to the server's virtual drive. ISO images are divided into three categories: public, personal, and licensed. Public images are available to everyone using the application. Personal images uploaded by users and available only to them. And finally, there are the licensed media, which become available based on what software or operating system has been purchased for the given server. Connecting the ISO image is very easy. Simply select one of the images. Let's take the System Rescue CD for instance and click Mount. This tells the application to connect the ISO media into the virtual drive of the server. To unmount the media, it's fairly straightforward as well. Simply click the Unmount button. That's for the Media tab. Lastly, but not leastly, is the Charts button. This brings up the Charts window, which you can filter by using the checkboxes on the top of the window. Highlighting different charts and reports brings up a preview on the top right hand side of the window. Let's have a closer look at one of the performance charts. Performance charts are very useful for troubleshooting, and it gives the administrators the possibility to monitor the performance of virtual servers. SLA, which is the Service Level Agreement reports. Let's have a look at one of those. Are also available to administrators, so that the administrators can see whether guaranteed levels of service are being met. Let's close this for now and close the charts option. Next up is the Storage tab. This part shows us all purchased storage devices in our virtual private data center. It gives us the name of the disk, type of the product, and the server it is currently connected to. It allows us to manipulate the disks, detach them from servers, and attach them to others. There is also the possibility to switch to network attached storage devices management, which brings up another window which allows us to purchase network attached storages products. Should we have one provisioned, we would also be able to configure an IP address on it. Last tab to introduce in this video is the inventory. This gives us an overview of purchased products in a given logical data center. Simply in a table view, we can also switch to a pie chart view. Should we want to work further with these data, there is a possibility to export the inventory into an XLS format which we can further work with in a Microsoft Excel or similar Office product. Now, let's go back to the Servers tab and see whether our purchased server is available. As we can see, the provisioning status of the server changed to stop, which means that the server is ready to run, and all we need to do is switch it on. We can do that by double-clicking the server and clicking the Power On button. Now the server will power on and we will be able to use it and finish the configuration. Adding a new virtual infrastructure server is as simple as that. This concludes the demonstration of Virtix Virtual Private Data Center Management software. See you soon in one of our following videos. Take care. Bye bye.